it. I literally can't help it. As soon as I've finished working, and I've sort of kind of watched all the social media and read all the social media that I've caught up on the news. The next thing I'm going to do is, okay, look and see what I can buy. Honestly, this lockdown has just made me just go shopping. It's terrible. So yes, I went shopping, and the today's special value is actually for a brand whose foundation I actually really like. It is from Illamasqua. So you've probably seen me do, I've done a couple of videos of the Illamasqua foundation already. Probably the last time I did it was maybe last year or even maybe the year before. But this time on QVC they did a today's special value, which is like a makeup collection of the brand. I thought, oh, I've got to do that. I really didn't want to, because I've already got sort of 1 or 2 other foundations already, but I thought, can't resist. So I did. I went ahead and purchased it, and it arrived today. So now that I finished work for the day, I thought I would just show you what I got. So let me show you what we've got in the collection. So it was called, I can't remember what the collection was called. It was called an Illamasqua 5-piece. It was an Illamasqua 5-piece collection. The price was £32.98, but with postage and packaging it came up to £36.93, which is still really good value, because I think the foundation by itself, I can't remember, I will put the correct price on the screen over here, but I think the foundation by itself is near enough between £25 and £30 itself. It is a very good foundation. So let me show you what I've got inside the in this today's special value. Now, I think the today's special value actually happened, today is Wednesday, I think it might have happened on Monday night, so if you missed out, sorry guys. It's come in an unusual box, because when I saw the box downstairs, I didn't recognise it for QVC, because I'm used to QVC coming in a usual brown cardboard packaging, but it came in this sort of black box, so I wasn't expecting that at all. This is what it looks like. So they've actually sort of made a bit of an effort in packaging. So it says, Illamasqua, you are beauty. Illamasqua is against animal testing. Many larger brands are not. Of course they don't mention it. We only know because a little bird told us, and a few little rabbits. So there we go. So beauty is not brutality, and it's got the PETA sign underneath. But here we go. This is the packaging it's all coming. So that's all good. Now on the channel itself, when they did the presentation, as per usual with QVC, they tend to always focus on the fair light skin tones. They really do. So if you've got a range of say 20 foundation shades, at least 15 of them will be for the fair and light medium to fair light skin tones. They'll have probably like 5 or 6 for medium, and they'll have the sort of token 2 or 3 to cover tan, dark and deep. And it's the same case they did with this range as well. When they did the presentation on QVC, it did look really disproportionate. It wasn't a good look for QVC. When I looked at the thing, if I can put a picture on it, I will show you. The table had a display of something like, I think it was something like 10 of the fair and light shades, and you can see right at the end there was like a tan colour and 2 dark skin shades, but they weren't the darkest shades. It was just like sort of 2 of the shades happened to be my shade happened to be covered, because my shade is number 15. I think they had shade 15. The darkest shade they had was 16, and I think that was it. I think it was 15, 16 and possibly 18, and they had all the shades from 0 to 12 covered, so each one, and even the half shades in between. But yeah, it's just QVC need to just update themselves. They really need to get up and sort themselves out, but that's not a brand I'm tackling at the moment. I'm focusing my efforts on the beauty box subscriptions right now. So I'm just going to go through this and see what we've got. Before I do that, let me just put on a primer. The primer I'm using today is the No Pore Blend Priming Water. You've heard me talk about this one many times before. I really like it. I got it in one of my American Beauty boxes. It's a watery primer, but it's actually very good even if you've got oily skin. So it's a really good one. I really enjoyed using this. Actually, it's nearly finished. Right, So let me show you what we've got inside here. And what I'll do, if I can find the prices of individual items, I'll put a photograph of the individual item up on the screen with the price, and then you can see what the value was with this. I think they said if you were to buy this whole collection individually, it would cost about £70, I think they said. So here we go, you've got the packaging like that. The packaging is kind of cool. It's got the little Illamasqua sign there. I always think this little sign looks a little bit Satan worshipping thing, but that's just my warped mind. Right, okay, so let's go through this collection and see what we have inside here. So just remember, the whole lot, including postage and packaging, cost me £36.93. Okay, so the first thing we have is the foundation. I normally wear shade 15, but I was looking at some of my old videos when I've been wearing a foundation, and I felt that it might have been a little bit too light. So what I did, I ordered the next shade up, which was 16. They didn't give any other options for me to go for the next sort of neutral undertoned one. So shade 16 is actually quite red in undertone. If you compare it to the shade I normally wear, I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference. So this is the shade I normally wear, which is 15, and this is 16 here. So 15 and 16. So you can see that this is slightly more red. So what I might do is put this on and mix it with this and see how they work on my skin tone. So you get that in the collection. Okay, so that's 15, that's 16. I think if I mix the two, I might get something nearer to a better match for my skin. Mix the two there. Yeah, I think that's going to work if I mix the two. So that's good. This is the blush in shade Dixie. That's what it looks like. Let's do a little swatch. Just going to do a swatch here. Oh, is that even showing up? This is going to be one of those shades that's going to be very ashy on my skin tone. You can see that straight away. I have got some other Illamasqua blushes, so I'm probably going to go upstairs and retrieve those. But yeah, go and buy that. That is definitely not suitable for deep skin tone. That is for your fair and your light and possibly medium skin tone. So we've already got a failure there. This is the eyeshadow they included in the collection. See that? And this is in shade Bronx, they've called it. That's what it looks like. Just that bronzy colour that seem to always get inside beauty box subscriptions. But let's just do a swatch of that and see what it's like. I'm going to put it over here. Yeah, it's that typical bronzy gold colour. This is the lipstick. I was intrigued by the colour lipstick that they included in this because it looked so bright and pink on the models they had. So the shade is Glycical, is that right? Or Glissade maybe? You know I can't read without reading glasses, so here we go. Look at that is a bright old colour. So I'll just do a swatch of that right here. Yeah, so it's a wearable colour. I can get away with that, so that's fine. So the lipstick is a pass at the moment. And then also included was a brush, which they said is perfect for applying the foundation. I'm going to have to put my fan on because I can feel my face sweating already. And this is the brush. So it's actually a very nice quality brush actually. So that's the brush. There we go. All right, so I'm going to be going on and applying all of this in a minute, but first I'm going to go upstairs and get the rest of my Illamasqua collection, because I think I'm going to need some additional help with this. Back in a bit. Right, okay, so I've gone upstairs, I've brought down the rest of my Illamasqua kit, because I think I'm going to have to supplement what I've got here. I've turned on my fan in the room, so that's the noise you're hearing in the background. Okay, so I've already put on the No Problem primer, but I think just in this case, because it is still quite warm, I'm going to put on another primer that I do have, and it's the Illamasqua Mat Veil. So it looks like this. Oops. Comes in jars like this, and it looks like that. It looks like yogurt basically, but it is actually very good. So you just take a little scoop, put it in your hand like so. Right, there we go. Right, so that immediately looks better, so I'm happy with that straight away. It even smells like yogurt, but I think that's just my imagination, to be honest. Right, let's put that away. So that's dried down straight away. Okay, so let's get on with the foundation. So let's try this number 16. Yeah, so let's try this 16 and see how this looks. So I'm just going to squeeze some of it on the back of my hand. So that's what it looks like. And use this brush and let's go. I actually think that looks alright. I don't think I will need to mix it with the lighter. Oh yeah, I don't think I need to mix that with the number 15 actually. I think that looks alright. Let's bring them in a bit closer. Yeah, I think that actually looks like a pretty good matte for my skin. Right, there we go. I think that looks alright actually. I am surprised. 16 is the way to go for me in the future. I like that. I think that looks pretty good. That is a good skin match. I put 2 layers on because I like medium to full coverage. The thing about the skin base, it's really good. You can either put it on quite sheer if you want, so just to cover up your little imperfections, or you can build it up to a more full coverage, and that's what I've done. I've just built it up to what I'd call a nice solid medium coverage, but it still has that slight glow to it, slight dewy effect, so it still looks like a skin finish rather than a matte full finish. So I like that. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, pleased with that. So that's all good. Now I am going to set it all. I'm probably going to spoil it all now and put on a face powder, or should I? I'm going to put on a face powder because I am going to be going out after this. Well, when I say going out, I'm going out Pokemoning again. So it's a little thing I do with my niece Kayla. She loves going to catch Pokemon, and it's a good way for me to go and get some exercise as well. Just walking around finding Pokemon pit stops and then catching Pokemon as we go along. So just a very light coverage of powder, don't need much. Right, I've also got a Illamasqua contour, so I am going to put a little bit of that on. The one I've got here is Silhouette. It's not something you can really see, it doesn't stand out, but once you blend it in, it does have an effect. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on. So that's that done. So let's have a look at this blush. Oh, actually, let me just do my brows quickly, and then I'll come back and do the blush. Right, okay, so I've done my brows and I've put on a little bit of bronzer, so we're set to go. So let's have a look at this blush that we've got included in this set. Going by the swatch I did earlier, it did look like it wasn't going to show on my skin, so let's try it. I have got another one down here just in case, but there you go, there's that colour there. And what should I use to apply it? I'm going to use the same brush because I'm assuming this brush can do everything. So let's put a little bit on and then see how this works. It's actually showing up, but I'm not sure if I actually like the colour. Actually, I don't know if it's the foundation or the blush that's making this work. Right, I'm going to try that with a clean brush rather than the foundation brush and see the effect it has. It looks a bit weirder over there now, so I'm just going to try it on this side of my face and see what happens. Yeah, it was the brush. It was the blush that was doing it. It just looks a bit weird. No, this is not a colour for me. If there's one thing I've concluded this spring summer is that I don't like powder contours and I don't like cream blushes. They don't work. Contours for me should be cream, blushes for me should be powder. So yeah, not happy about that. That just looks weird. So I'm going to see if I can correct it somehow. Not sure. I'll get back with the foundation, see if I can cover that up. That just looks weird. Right, so I have got another blush here. It's a powder blush from Illamasqua and it's in the shade Beg, and I think this will work better for me. So you see the difference? That looks like a blush for me, whereas that other colour just looked very weird, very pale, no pigment. It just wasn't working for me. And I do like my blushes to be gentle and just to give me a little bit of depth and dimension on my face. So that works better. So far, this blush is a bit of a fail. So we'll see. My general rule is if I get a collection from QVC, so I want at least 75% of the collection to work for me, if not all of it. So in this case, we've got a 5-piece collection here. So I am literally looking at 4 out of the 5 pieces to work for me. So 1 piece has already failed. So everything else needs to work for me now. Okay, the foundation's worked, the brush has worked. Let's try the eyeshadow. So the eyeshadow is in this colour bronze. It was called Bronx. So there we go. Let's try that. This is it. That's Bronx. Okay, I'm going to use my fingers and put this on. I mean, the colour works. I knew it would work because, as I said, I've said this many times. I've received so many colours like this in beauty box subscriptions, so I knew the colour was going to work. I'm going to try it with a brush, with a shader brush, and see how it looks. Yeah, you can see the difference. So that's with a brush. It's more subtle, and that's with my finger. See if I can build it up. Yeah, I can build it up. Yep, so that's alright as a one shadow look. I must admit I'm not normally a one shadow person, I'm more a multicoloured person. Right, so I have done the eyes now. So finished the eyes, I've put on some eyeliner. So it's a liquid eyeliner, that Tarte dual ended one, which I've been using a lot recently. And I've put on some false eyelashes from Illamasqua. The lashes were called Elegant, like that. And it's got Elegant down there. I think that's what they were called, Elegant. So put those on, and now I'm going to go with this lipstick, which is a little bit frightening because it did look very bright on the model on QVC. On the swatch on my hand it didn't look so bright, so I think I might be alright with it. And the colour is Glacade, so there we go. Bright pink colour. There we go. Bright pink colour. Look at that. Really bright pink. I think I'm going to put on a lip liner first. So I have got an Illamasqua lip liner. I've got this in the shade, they call it a lip crayon, and the shade I've got this in is Severity. So there we go. So that's the shade there. Needs sharpening, but it's enough to do what I need to do today. So yeah, let's put on the lip liner first and then I'll put the lipstick on. Okay, so the lip liner is on, so if it is too bright the lip liner will help to subdue it, and yeah, let's put this colour on. So the lipstick, I'm trying to work out. So the lipstick is the Glamour Lipstick. I thought it was the Anti-Matter because they've got another style within Illamasqua called Anti-Matter, and that's actually a really, really matte and dry one. It's actually almost too dry, and I do like a matte lipstick, but I think the one from Illamasqua is actually too dry. This one is Glamour, so it's not as dry. It's not as satiny smooth as I would like, but it's got a bit of a sheen to it. It's still it's a little bit, it feels a little bit dry when it goes on, so you might want to put a lip balm on, but it's not a matte finish. If you can see, it's kind of like a medium sheen finish. So this is how it's looking at the moment. What do we think? So that's the overall effect. I feel like it's still lacking a little bit. I think what it is, let me give myself an overall view of the elements of this collection. So the first element was the foundation in shade 16. I wasn't sure if this was going to work. My intention when I bought this was to mix it with my number 15 to see if I could darken it up a little bit, take away some of the little bit of the yellow tone of my 15, which is the shade I've been wearing sort of all the time. 15 works well for me in the winter, but I didn't think it would work well for me in the summer. But it so happens that this 16 is actually a really good skin match for me, so I think this is actually going to be my new shade now if I buy the foundation again. So this shade is actually fine, so I'm pleased with that and I'm happy with that. So that's 1 out of 5, and I think that looks all right. The next element of this collection was the brush. So the brush I'm actually happy with. I must admit I probably won't use it that much because it's such a small head, it takes a long time, and I've got arthritis in my hands, and too much repetitive actions of anything starts to ache my fingers after a while. I mean, even just applying the foundation on, I felt my fingers starting to ache a little bit. So, but the brush is good. There's nothing wrong with the brush. So that's 2 elements of this collection which I'm happy with. The blush, the cream blush, I didn't like. It's not a colour for me, it's not pigmented enough, it's too pale on my deep skin tone, and I think that's something that QVC really needs to think about when they do these things. When they procure a collection from a brand, what they always do, they always get loads and loads and loads of colours for white skin tones. I know white is the majority ethnic group in the UK, but you know, you've got a huge audience, and an audience of people, especially at home right now, of all different skin types. So it would be nice if they would just increase the amount of darker skin shades they put. No, I'm not saying to lessen the amount of the fair and the light skin tones they have, just increase the amount of dark skin tones that you have, because just to have sort of 2 token shades, it's not enough when you've got something like 12 of the fair and light skin tones. And they didn't go dark enough either. So you know, I got the darkest shade. I've got the darkest shade. Don't quote me on that. I think they might have had 18 as well. I'm not sure, but I think Illamasqua goes up to 20. So they had 15, they had 16. I think they had 18. I'm not sure. I cannot remember. But I will put down what they've got on the screen, what they've got available on the screen, so you'll see what the shade range availability was. So I just think they need to improve on their shade range of the foundation, but the foundation itself I really, really like, so that's fine. And the blush, when they're putting these collections together, I think they really need to think about the blushes that they have. Maybe have a choice, so you have a choice of shades of the foundations. Maybe have a choice in the shade of blush as well, people can choose. So maybe have a shade that will suit lighter skin tones, and maybe have another shade that will suit darker skin tones as well. I think that will be a fair option. So I'm not saying decrease what you've got available, I'm saying increase, just add another option again. So you just, you know, you're offering more, and you get more customers as well if you offer more as well. So the blush for me it was a no-no, so that's a fail. So that's 2 out of 5 so far, which is pass, 1's a fail. The eyeshadow, let me show you the eyeshadow. The eyeshadow, I mean, the colour's fine. I mean, the colour is fine. I haven't got an issue with the colour. I just associate colours like this with the 1970s and 80s, when sort of black women used to wear bright blue and bright gold eyeshadows. I don't like it. It's not my taste. I'm not saying that it doesn't look alright, it's just not my taste. So I'm not sure if so to be honest, this is what's going to decide if I'm going to keep the collection or not. I have to be honest, this is going to be my deciding one. In my own Illamasqua collection, I have got two other eyeshadows. I've got a quad, and I've also got these two colours here. So this is a shimmer shade, which I really like, and I've got this purple shade as well. For some reason, my Illamasqua foundation, I tend to wear a lot in the winter. I think it's because it's more of a winter going out kind of feel for me, and I tend to go out more on social special occasions in the winter, and that's when I tend to pull out my Illamasqua. And these are the two shadows I tend to wear together. This will fit in with my collection. It will go with the purple. So I think I am bordering on keeping this at the moment. And the final one is this lipstick, and the lipstick works for me. It does work. I was just going to think, how often will I reach for it? I don't know. I really don't know. I think it looks all right. I'm going to ask you guys to tell me if you think I should keep this collection. So the two dodgy things in this collection for me was the lipstick and the eyeshadow. They both work, but is it enough for me to keep this collection? So that's those two. The blush definitely didn't work, so that was a no-no. Foundation and brush were fine. So we are looking at two definite yeses. These two I'm going to give a half a point each to, and the blush is a no-no. I don't know if I should keep this collection or not. It's just that I like the foundation. The foundation looks nice. I do like the foundation. I'm going to keep the collection. I think I've decided I'm going to keep it all. Oh gosh, I don't know. You know what I'm like, I'm really indecisive. You guys let me know what you think down below. Yeah, just give me your opinion, your feedback, and let me know what you're thinking. Alright, so here we go. That's it. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. You've had two makeup videos from me on the trot here. That's pretty good going for me. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below. And if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? I'm giving you all of this. All you need to do is just press that subscribe button, and when you do that, after you've done that, if you press the all, that will mean that YouTube will always notify you anytime I upload a new video. Alright? Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Cheerio. Take care. Bye.